Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girin yatkrupatamahamvande paramananda madhavam Shri Guru Deenadayalam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we'll continue with the prayers of Muchukunda from Canto 10, Chapter 51. We have to start with verse 51. How many verses are there in total? Anyone knows? I think still 57 or something. I don't know.
57.
Huh?
57, Mataji.
57 only, na? Okay, I try to complete then. If it is short, we can. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.51.51. Nirjitya dikchakramabhuta vigraho varasanastha samarajavanditaha गृहेषु मैथुन्यसुखेषु योषिता कृदा मृगः पुरुष ईश नीयते निर्जित्य दिक्चक्रमभूतविग्रहो
निर्जित्यदिक्चक्रमभूतविग्रहो
वरासनस्था समराजवन्दितः
वरासनस्था समराजवन्दिनः
गृहेषु मैथुन्यसुखेषु योषिता
गृहेषु मैथुन्यसुखेषु योषिता
क्रीडा मृगः पुरुष ईश नीयते निर्जित्य दिक्चक्रमभूतविग्रहो
चक्रमभूतविग्रहो
वरासनस्था समराजवन्दितः
वरासनस्था समराजवन्दितः
गृहेषु मैथुन्यसुखेषु योषिता
गृहेषु मैथुन्यसुखेषु योषिता
क्रीडा मृगः पुरुष ईश नीयते
क्रीडा मृगः पुरुष ईश नीयते. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Having conquered the entire circle of directions and being thus free of conflict, a man sits on a splendid throne receiving praise from leaders who were once his equals. But when he enters the women's chambers where sex pleasure is found, he is led about like a pet animal, O Lord. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thanks, Mataji. So, translation. So, having conquered the entire circle of directions and being thus free of conflict, a man sits on a splendid throne, receiving praise from leaders who were once his equals. But when he enters the women's chamber, where sex pleasure is found, he is led about like a pet animal, O Lord. So, we see that the main reason for this material world to expand. What is that? There is one verse like it says that it is because of the man and women coming into together, and then they are creating the children. But it is not bad, right? Even in Krishna consciousness, it is said like it is not bad, because of course we were not aware earlier, because most of us have come very recently in Krishna consciousness, when we were not aware. There is Garbhadana Samskara and all these things. And also before having a kid, one has to go through austerity. Prabhupada suggested that they have to, even both husband and wife, they have to chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. And then if they beget a child, he will be same like Prahlad Maharaj. he can be like Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada said, if Prabhupada has said, then it is true. And we can see that there are many devotees, even who are leading a very austerity life. Even a proper grihastha is also equal to a brahmachari, and also more than a brahmachari who is living in temple also, like Prabhupada says, because though he is in it's not easy to avoid the attraction towards the opposite sex, like even in the married life. And then if they are able to do that, like they are only using they are meeting only for having the progeny, then that means they are equal to a is like a brahmachari only, right? Prabhupada said. And also it's not, and Krishna also says um, in the dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatashrava. So if a sex which is which is not bypassing the regulated principles, or which is within the boundary of religion, then that is me, Krishna says. Kama viruddho, no, dharma viruddho, aviruddho bhuteshu, kamosmi bharatashrava. So here it is said no, the king may be how much ever powerful, but when he goes to his wife, and then he becomes completely taken over by her and by her beauty. And we see so many examples. Even in the morning, we are having a story of Puranjana. So Puranjana was also he was a very good king, and he was very much engaged in fruitive activities, but he was very much attached to his wife. And what was the result? Because what is the danger of being too much attached? Prabhupada says, because the next life is deciding based on that, right? So the person, if a husband is very much attached to the wife, then he would become a woman. And that we see in the life of Puranjana, he becomes a woman in his next life. And in the next life, after her husband dies, that Puranjani's husband, then Krishna himself, the super soul, comes and talk to him. He comes as a Brahmana and he says, no, so much of advice he gives. No, I am your eternal friend. No, why are you lamenting? I am your eternal friend. I have been coming with you all life after life. No, so that is a beautiful conversation they have. Krishna says that there's nothing to lament, right? And you have been changing the bodies based on so many, because of this so many desires, we are taking so many birth in this material world. So there no, because actually it is a Prabhupada says it's just these are all basically for us only. No, Narada Muni also is giving like an example of Puranjana to whom? To is anybody who is attending Bhagavatam knows Prachinabari, right? King Prachinabari. He is the king, who is the son of father of Prachetasi, the king. For him, the Narada Muni says of actually his story only is telling like some other story. And even if we see the Bhagavatam also, all those instructions are actually for us. Even no, the Acharya says, like when we hear Bhagavad Gita also, we have to think that that is not for Krishna. Krishna is not telling for Arjuna, it's actually for me. And then only we are able to apply those principles in our life. So this is the weakness. No, women is the weakness. So Stree means what? Stree means one who expands. So one becomes more and more entangled in the material world when one gets married. And because married means what? He will have more, right? He will once a boy gets married to a girl, he will have more relations. All the girl side also becomes his relation and more, right? He will have more more responsibilities, or if she has any siblings, he has to get them married and all those things, and then he will have more children. And so like that, attachment will get, a person will get attached more and more to the family. And then janasya moho aham mameti. So people will be in illusion thinking that I and mine. So that is what Prabhupada says. So here also the king, the Muchukunda, like he was also a king, right? So he's saying that what would be the, how would even the man, how his state would be, like though he was a king outside, he is completely like, just like any examples from the Shastras you can remember. Very good example we have of yeah, let me see if you are able to recall anything from the Shastras. Who was actually a great king, but who could not, who became slave in front of his wife. Any examples you can recall?
Uttanapada.
Uttanapada, yes, very nice example. Yes. So Uttanapada, father of Dhruv Maharaj, right? So he was very much attached to Suruchi, the second wife, and Suniti was very pious wife, the first wife, but then he didn't care for her because the Suruchi was more attractive for him, and he did injustice for Dhruv Maharaj, no? Because he was so attached, he didn't even he just wanted to sit on father's lap, but he becomes so blind towards love because of his lust towards his second wife. He didn't allow the child also sit on his lap, and then later he repented, of course, because when Ardhamuni came, he was actually lamenting, like, I did very big mistake, and Dhruva is, I should have not left him. What he would have done? He's a small child. He went to forest. No, the animals would eat. The wild animals can eat him. Like that, he was repenting, and Ardhamuni actually consoled him, like, not to worry. He's in the safe hand. No, he's protected by Supreme Lord, right? So yes, that's a very nice example. So another any example? So we have this one, no? What is that? Mm, Rama's father. Who is that? Is that name?
Dashrath Maharaj.
Dashrath Maharaj. Yeah. So Dashrath Maharaj also, what happened? He was very much. He had three prominent wives. Actually, he had many wives because Kshatriyas have many wives. But he had prominent wives, that is Kausalya and Sumitra and this Kaikeyi. Yeah, so he was very much attached to Kaikeyi, and once she had actually saved him from getting killed. Actually, she became a charioteer for him, and he was fainted, and she actually took him away. Actually, the responsibility of the charioteer is to save uh, the the warrior, right? So on the chariot. So she saves, and because of which he promised that I want to give you something, and so she says, no, I will take it when the time comes. And what was the two promises she asked from her husband?
That Lord Rama should be sent to forest for 14 years. And
Yes, for
secondly,
14
Bharat
years.
to be made king.
Yeah, and her son Bharat. Actually, she was actually a very nice, and they all treated, I mean, they had equal love for Rama. They didn't have any discrimination. But why her mind changed? Because of her association with Manthara, right? So even how much ever pious person one is, like if they come into a bad association, they can fall down. So how much it is like it applies to us also. Like we have to be very careful and choosy when we make friends in this material world. No, especially like our Acharya says, like how with outside world we should be like whatever related to material affairs, like vyavaharika level relationship you should have, and you should never be opening your heart to them. So opening your heart only with the devotees, because, and especially with the someone who is senior in devotional service, because they are able to guide us. If we are again with the engaging with the neophyte devotees who are also interested in what to say, materialistic pleasure, then there is again a chance of fall down. Because nobody is very pure, right? It will take years to come to that level. But it's always good someone to be, we have a mentor, someone mentor, or when we are in some problem, we can approach them, right? So somebody should be there in spiritual life. And yeah, so So yes, so she asked like no, because of that the two he was so much attached to her. We know if how he laments, and actually he didn't wanted to, he had so much of love for Rama. He had a curse also, na, that your son is not going to stay with you, no, when at the time of death, and that's how it happened. So yes, so these are the very great kings actually, and still they could not. No, they had become a what to say weak. I mean, they founded themselves weak in front of their wives, right? Yeah. Okay. But then Prabhupada says again, if a wife is a devotee, then she is also just like, can you give examples where the wife is a devotee and even just by serving her husband, she also made her life perfect? Any examples can remember?
Devahuti,
Yeah, Kardaba Muni, right?
Kardama Muni, yeah.
Yes. So Devahuti was daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, right? The Manu, the father of mankind. So being a, she was raised so like, she was in a very aristocratic family. Just imagine, we can't even imagine his opulences, Manu's. No, he was the for whole universe, right? He was the king, and then she was the daughter. But then when the Lord wanted, they desired that he ought to get married to Devahuti, sorry, they are not Devahuti, I mean, married to Kardava Muni, he agreed, right? So, and he was being married, and also like many years she did austerity, just serving her husband. And after many, many, many years, she desires to have child, right? We see that in Bhagavatam. So that is allowed. They had actually 9 daughters, and after that was Kapila Muni was born. Right? Lord Kapila was also a incarnation of the Lord Krishna only, Sakshavesha avatar, right? So he was born. So we see that that is nothing wrong, but then they had done so much of austerity, and then he feels one, by seeing her that she had become so weak and pale, and she had given all her life, and then finally he made her also again beautiful, right? Just by the power of his yogic power, and he made a very big. The palace in the in the what to say, which could actually fly to different planets. They made a vimana, right? What do you call that? Pushpa vimana, Pushpaka vimana, something they call, right? Which goes in air. I mean, just with the mantras, they were able to do that. No, so this is nothing wrong. It is nothing wrong to have a children, or but then if both are devotees, then that is ideal. No, that is what we can take from here. We'll go to the next verse. 10:51-52. Karoti karmani tapassu nishtito nivritta bhogastadapekshaya dadat पुनश्च भूयासमहं स्वरादिति प्रवृद्धतर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते करोति कर्माणि तपस्सु निष्ठितो
करोति कर्माणि तपसु निष्ठितो
निवृत्तभोगस्तदपेक्ष तपे तदपेक्षया दतात्
निवृत्तभोगास्तदपेक्षाया तथा
पुनश्च भूयासमहं स्वराद इति
पुनश्च भूयासम् अहं स्वरादिति
प्रवृद्धतर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते
प्रवृद्धतर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते
करोति कर्माणि तपस्सु निष्ठितो
करोति कर्माणि तपसु निष्ठितो
निवृत्तभोगस्तदपेक्षया दतात्
निवृत्तभोगास्तदपेक्षया दतात्
पुनश्च भूयासमहं स्वरादिति
पुनश्च भूयासमहं स्वरादिति
प्रवृद्धतर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते
प्रवृद्धतर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते
Only translation. Can read translation.
All glories to
91
Srila
BC.
Prabhupada.
Okay, you want to read Mataji? You can read.
Yes. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Translation: A king who desires even greater power than he already has strictly perform his duties carefully, practicing austerity and foregoing sense enjoyment. But he whose urges are so rampant, thinking, I am independent and supreme, cannot attain happiness.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So whatever the positions one is in, he should know that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, Krishna is the supreme controller, and he is my well-wisher, right? But usually what happens when somebody gets into power, they think that they are the supreme power. Like nobody can match Krishna, right? Everything is coming from Krishna. There are 6 opulences of the Lord, right? That is why he is called as Bhagavan. No? Bhagavan means one who is full in all 6 opulences. So all wealth, all strength, all beauty, all riches, all renunciation, and what is the one more? Fame, right? So all fame.
Renunciation.
Yeah, all fame. So from where are this all riches coming? Actually, we should not become, when somebody gets into power and the opulences, he forgets, he thinks that he is the one who, because of him, it has come, right? But it is not so. Like if we understand properly the spiritual science of Bhagavad Gita, then we understand that it is not actually everything what we are doing, no? प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणै कर्माणि सर्वशः अहङ्कार अहङ्कारै विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Okay, everything is because of me, I have only earned all this. But if Krishna is not willing, we cannot get anything whatever one has got, right? So this was the thing, like once you all know the story of Bharat Maharaj, right? Bharat Maharaj, who was like when he uh, he was too attached to a deer and he died, thinking about the deer. In that consciousness he leaves his body, and the second life he becomes deer, and in the third life when he was born as Jada Bharat, no, and even Krishna gave him again the remembrance, because matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha. Krishna says, no, by me comes the remembrance, forgetfulness and memory. So Krishna gave him that because he had done so much of devotional service to the Lord. It will never go waste, right? So he gave him, and he remembered all his past life, and he was very careful. And we know that when he was being carried in a palanquin, and there were there was a shortage of people, and he was being called to lift, because and one question he asked, he says that when the king was very angry and he shouted on him that because he was shaken, that palanquin was being shaken, and why he was shaking, because he was seeing the ants, small ants. He didn't wanted to kill them also, because he was on a Paramahamsa level. He was able to see the soul in every living entity. So the king was very proud. He was of his opulence. So Bharat Maharaj, during a conversation, he points out that no, because are you he says, okay, you're thinking about first. Actually, he speaks about the body, because he commented that are you very thin, are you very weak that you are not able to carry properly. So he says, see, these are all being weak or stout. These are all bodily designations, right? So nothing to do with the soul. Huh? Soul is neither weak nor stout, right? It is the eternal soul. And then he says that, okay, this life you are king. Next life, last life, maybe I was king. And he was true also, right? In Bharat Maharaj life, he was a king, great king. He was so opulent. And he says, next life, who knows, no? Who knows about the previous life or next life? It can be anything. So then that shows that one should not become very proud of one's wealth or opulent or position in this material world, because this is all coming from Krishna only. Hmm? Krishna is all opulent. So if because Krishna, no, if Krishna can give, he can take also, right? he can take away also. Like example is of Hiranyakashipu. He was such a opulent, he had all power, all yogic power, and we know like how he was very proud, and even he was making all people to only worship him, and he stopped the worship of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, and because of that only he was ruined, right? Because of he actually Hiranyakashipu, one who is what is the meaning of Hiranyakashipu? One who is attached to women and riches. Okay, because there's a soft bed, Prabhupada says there, who is very much attached, and he was always used to be drunk, and he was like that, but he was not at all happy, though he had everything. So usually, everybody may think that okay, if somebody is very opulent, he has everything in life, what is there to lament? But happiness is not coming from the material pleasures, right? So this is the happiness is actually of the nature of the soul. It is coming from Krishna only. When we are associated with the Lord, only that real happiness can come to the soul, not from these material designations. So even we have so many examples, like even the who were like he was kings who are very much no very pious kings also, like Krishna gives example of Janaka Maharaj, right, in Bhagavad Gita. So they are all were very very nicely they look after their subjects also. They knew the goal of the life, right? They preached because they were all Raja Rishis, right? Krishna says there, before that, Yadyada Achariti Shrestha, he says that the Janakadayaha, he says, like there are so many great people who knew like what is the perfection of life. So just like even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, wherever one whatever the position is, so he has to actually um, engage in the service of the Lord. So that is the perfection of life. So being a king also, king actually represents Supreme Lord. Krishna says, actually, Naranam, Naranancha Naradipam. In the 10th chapter, Krishna says, so I am the king of among men. So basically, so much of responsibility is there. Whoever is in that position, it means like king, or nowadays we don't have king. We have the like prime minister, president, like that. So it is their responsibility actually to guide spiritually also the people, right? So that is what is. So he's saying that one who, so there are two types he has mentioned. One who is strictly performing his duties, carefully practicing austerity and foregoing sense enjoyment, who is not like Amrish Maharaj, right? We have the example we can see of Amrish Maharaj, how he engaged, they said all his senses. He was a very opulent king. He had a very nice wife, children, everything, but he was not attached to them. He was performing his duties, and also he was engaged in the service of the Lord. In that too is all his Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. So he was completely engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord, right? So that is the Krishna gives all the opulent, but when it is used in service, then that is perfection. No, that is Yukta Vairagya Muchyate, right? So, but if somebody thinks that I am independent and supreme, so they cannot attain happiness. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 10.51.53. पवापवर्गो भ्रुमतो यदा भवेत् जनस्य तर्हि अच्युतसत्समागमः सत्सङ्गमो यर्हि तदैव सद्गतौ परावरेशे त्वयि जायते मतिः भवापवर्गो भ्रमतो यदा भवेत् जनस्य तर्हि अच्युतसत्समागमः सत्सङ्गमो यर्हि तदैव सद्गतौ परावरेशे त्वयि जायते मतिः
परावरेशे त्वयि जायते मतिः
भवापवर्गो भ्रमतो यदा भवेत्
भ्रमतो यदा
जनस्य तर्हि अच्युत सत्समागमः
जनस्य तर्हि अच्युत सत्समागमः
सत्सङ्गमो यर्हि तदैव सद्गतौ
सत्सङ्गमो यर्हि तदैव सद्गतो
परावरेशे त्वयि जायते मतिः
परावरेशे त्वयि जायते मतिः
Can read? Who wants to read?
May I read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, O Achitya, he may attain the association of your devotees. And when he associates with them, there awakens in him devotion unto him, who are the goal of the devotees and the Lord of all causes and their effects. Purport. Acharyas Jiva Goswami and Vishwanatha Chakravarti agree on the following point. Although it is stated here that when the material life ceases, one attains the association of devotees. In fact, it is the association of the Lord's devotees that enables one to transcend material existence. Srila Jiva Goswami explains this apparent inversion of sequence by quoting the Kavya Prakasha 10.153 as follows. Karya karyanastyo cha paura apargya viparyavo yayo vijinitya Ashisho Mataji, sorry, I could not pronounce this. Swata
कार्यकारणयोश्च पौर्वपर्या विपर्योयो विज्ञेयातिश योक्तिः स्यात् सा.
A statement in which the logical order of the cause and its effect is reversed should be understood as Ati Satyokti, emphasis by extreme assertion. Srila Jiva Goswami cites the following commentary on this statement. Karanashya Shigraha Kartina Karitam Vaktum Karyasya Purvam Uktau. To express the swift action of a cause, one may assert the result before the cause. In this connection, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the merciful association of the Lord's devotees makes possible our determination to become Krishna conscious. And the Acharya agrees with Srila Jiva Goswami that this verse is an instant of Atisha Yukti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. The translation. When the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, O Achyuta, he may maintain the association. He may attain the association of your devotees, and when he associates with them, there awakens in him devotion unto you, who are the goal of the devotees and the Lord of all causes and their effects. So this shows in this purport also, it has been explained that how one like only by taking the shelter of a pure devotee, one can make his life successful, right? So actually these devotees are so merciful, because like we see like Prabhupada, how he went to West, right? There was no need for him. He could have like happily stayed in Vrindavan, but he went to the people, and because of him, how many like people actually they bring people out of the sinful life, no? It is out of compassion, because people were all leading sinful life, and all the devotees work is that only, like when somebody goes and hands over the Bhagavad Gita to a person, what they're doing, they're actually interfering in a sinful life of a person, and they're actually giving Krishna. So it's a big, what to say, biggest charity in the world. We may think that helping people, doing dan or something, giving clothes, giving food, shelter. So these are considered to be the highest in this material world. But that is not the highest thing. What can we do? How much can we give for one person? How much can you feed them? So, but then this is the highest knowledge if we are giving someone, or if you are able to make someone chant. That is the highest thing. No, but like what Prabhupada did, and what Prabhupada disciples are doing even now, right? Because of them, because of the mercy of the devotees only, so many of us, even we all have come into Krishna consciousness, and because of the mercy of the devotees of Krishna. No, nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha bhavita nacha me tasman anyah priyataro bhuvi. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that there is no one more dearer to me than he who is preaching the message of God, that is about me, to the people, to my devotees, right? He especially says to the devotees. So that is a very great work which is being done. So it is said, like, even Krishna also says, says in Bhagavatam that Madbhakta, he says, whoever Pujya Adhika, that is, he says to Uddhava that whoever worship my devotee is more dear to me than who worship me directly, right? So one is a story related to this. Once there was what is his name? Kanchipura, I think. So he was a great devotee of the Lord. He was in Vaikunta, fanning the Lord. So always fanning. And then one day he asked, "Okay, Lord, all the time, so it is said that always worshipping devotee is greater than Lord, right? So he hears always that devotees are being liberated and these things. So he wanted to know whether what would be his destination. He is also directly engaged in the Lord. He's not engaged in the service of any devotee. So what would be his destination? So the Lord says, I don't know. No? Will I get liberation or not? When he asks. So he says, I'm not sure. I don't know. So then immediately he leaves that Vaikunta, and then he goes and serves some devotee, right? He said he left, and some Mahapura, like that, there was one devotee, or great devotee of the Lord. He starts serving them. And then once after that, actually he was wandering, like he was going from one temple to other temple, and once he went to the Kanchipuram, where he was massaging the foot of the Lord, right? And then the Lord said, "Oh, already Lakshmi is doing, right? And how much you are doing? No, it is paining for me. It's so many people are massaging my feet. So you go to Tirupati, right?" So he goes there, and he started fanning there, the Lord. And the Lord said, "So Kanchipura, actually, no, I am feeling very cold. It's very cold outside. And over that, you are fanning me. I can't take this. You again go back to, I think there is a place also in Kanchipuram or something. So he says, so you go there, right? In the south. So what does it understand? So when devotee was saying, giving it this example, and like what he was saying was, this is actually shows that we both are important, serving the devotees and also serving the Lord. So both are very important. It's not like okay, I'll only serve the Krishna, or I'll not do that is actually neophyte who says no, because he sees only the Krishna in the temple, and not that his devotees he does not see. So that is called a Kanishta level, right? So but then and also one should not neglect the Lord also. So because Krishna is actually, out of mercy, is taking the form of Archa Vigraha, and all the photos, even in the photo form also, when we are seeing, or in the painting, there are in the wood, like there are in different forms Krishna can manifest, and he is all potent. So when we offer with love, when we offer him patram pushpam palam toyam, Yome bhaktya prayachati tadam bhakti paratam ashtami prayatatmana. When we serve with love, Krishna accepts it, right? So out of love, Krishna taking this form. So we have to serve him also. So here it is said, only when we are, because we have many examples, like how from a sinful life, when one comes in a association with a great devotee, how completely their life get transformed. Can you give some examples from Shastras, from Srimad Bhagavatam or?
Narada Muni Mataji.
Yeah, Narada Muni, yes, whom he changed. Yes, Narada Muni is the work of Narada Muni is like singing about the glories of the Lord in the three worlds, no? Upper, higher, and middle. That is what he does. So anytime he wish, he can be there. Okay. So whose life got transformed by coming in association with Narada Muni?
No, Mataji, I was thinking that because he associated with the devotees of the Lord, so that made.
Okay. You were talking about Narada Muni's life itself. Okay. Yes. Nice. So that is also. Yes, Narada Muni was a son of maid servant in his previous life, and because of association with Bhakti Vedantist and serving them, having their Uchishta, right? So then he became an Narada Muni next life. Okay, and there are many examples of like how coming in connection with Narada Muni also people's life changed, right? Okay, any examples?
Dhruva Maharaj.
Yeah, Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj was actually Rajasik, no? He was in like when Narada Muni told him that no, you are a very small child, you should be playing. What are you wasting your time here in forest? No, he was angry and he wanted to have a bigger kingdom than his father, great grandfather, Brahma. And but then he was not ready. He said, "Okay, this all sounds very good, but I'm not in a position to take your advice right now." But then what happened? He followed his instruction. No, still he followed. He said he taught because by seeing determination, Narmuni was very pleased, and he taught him the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra, and by which he was able to please the Lord, and Lord blessed him. And when Lord came, he felt like he was actually what he was aspiring for a big kingdom is just like a piece of glass. No, actually he wanted Lord, but then he was still so small. Krishna wanted him to rule for a long time, and then he assured him that he would be going to Dhruvaloka, where he would get the Lord's association, right? So yes, that how his life changed because of association with Narad Muni. Yes, and what are the other examples? How? No, this is what this verse says. When the material life of a wandering soul has ceased. No, even there is a Harsha. What is that? Chitraketu Maharaj. Okay, because this we don't take this very often. This example.
Harsha Shloka.
Yeah, Harsha Shoka. Yes. Can you tell in short, Mataji, the story?
No. No.
Hare Krishna. Can you narrate in short?
No, Mataji.
What happened?
No.
You're not able to?
No.
Okay. So basically, Chitra, he was not having sons. He had thousands of wives, but he didn't have a single child, right? He was very much lamenting. And then there one Rishi comes. I don't remember, Angirasa or some Rishi. Okay, he comes to his thing, and then he says that he serves him very nicely. He serves, and this king says that, see, I'm so unfortunate. I don't have a because Kshatriyas they need to have children, right? To take their who will take care of the prajas, right? They have to take care. So they need to have the progeny, but he didn't have, right? So then when he says that, okay, I will give you a fruit. You have to give to your uh, any wife. No, then you will get a child. But then he gives a condition that that child, whoever is coming, is going to be a reason for your happiness and distress, right? So and then he goes, and then when no, I think Narad Muni comes, right? Narad Muni comes there. He serves a Rishi, and also Narad Muni comes later stage, or now I don't know. Okay, so he gives that fruit, and so that Rishi gives actually. But Narad Muni says, I think, to that he will be one who will be giving you happiness, and so he says, okay, no problem, let me first have the child. And then he gives to his one of the most, he also had one whom he was loving more, a lot, one wife. He gives that fruit and she has a child. So now what happens, because of that, all the other wives becomes very envious of this wife, and they no the baby was also born, but then they poisoned the baby and the baby died. So he couldn't have the association for a long time. So he was lamenting, and then comes the Narad Muni. And Narad Muni gives the knowledge of soul. And actually, he was lamenting, and then Narad Muni makes the boy come and speak. Actually, he says that soul, that he wanted that him back. So when the soul comes, then he says that, oh, why did you call me? I've already started my new life, right? I was something else in my previous life, and before that, somebody else was my father. So it is keep on changing. So why are you calling me? I am already happy in my next life. So that is what happens. Huh? Once we come to this material world, we get so much attached to the current family and husband, wife, children, like that. But actually, we have been doing this from many, many lifetimes. So that is why Prabhupada said, what are you doing? Like you have been doing this from many lifetimes. At least one life you give to Krishna. Prabhupada told this many times, and many brahmacharis, no, many his disciples, they took it so seriously that they dedicated their life. So today I was seeing one, no, who was that? Patri Prabhu, right? He was from Russia. He was a commander in chief or something. Like he was very young. Like he got association with Srila Prabhupada, and by reading Bhagavad Gita, actually he gave up everything, all his materialistic life, and his parents actually, his mother felt like ashamed. Like, how can we keep you at home? Because I feel because he had wore the sannyasi dress. She was working in some bank. She was having very prestigious job, and she felt like. No, she can't face the relatives and people like to have him at home. So sent him out. And then he was completely dedicated his life. And now recently, during this Ukraine war, right? So it was not safe also. Then the other brother sends him here to India, and he brings and he says that, oh mother, I have to do the dharma of a son. I will, no, because that is my duty. And he takes her to, he says that in an interview, he takes her to Haridwar, and and then he makes her take a dip in the river Ganges, and then chant Hare Krishna. He said that I will not let you come out if you don't chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And he made her, and then he took to Vrindavan, Mathura, Mayapur, and then some places they were greeted so nicely. Because he was a great devotee, devotees know him because he has dedicated his life so many years. Actually, he saw her, I think, more than after 20-25 years, right? He never met in those years. And she was also being greeted so nicely. People, they were putting the garland to her also. Then she was asking, what have you done? No? Oh, why is this? I mean, who are you? Like that, she was she was laughing. Like, basically, then he said, see, I told you that I would never defame you. No, I would never bring your respect down or something. So that's how a devotee is, like how they change just by association with a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. Their materialistic life came to an end, and they completely understood. No, because we cannot understand this spiritual knowledge. For application, we need to serve the devotees. Unless we serve the devotees, we won't be able to fix in the devotional service, or we cannot progress, right? So Syan Mahatsa Evaya Vipra. No, what is that? There is one Rajoguna, what is that? For Rajoguna, he says, Jadabharata tells that there is no tapas, there is no charity, nothing can give you Krishna, but only by serving or putting the dust, unless one puts dust on his head, dust of the lotus feet of the devotees who serve Krishna, one cannot. No, what is that? Rahoguna, 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 Tapasa, Nayanti. Let me see if I can be able to get that. Are you able to see the screen or no? When I search?
Yes, you can see.
Okay. Oh, this cursor is something. It is. Okay. Raho gunaita tapasa nayati na jaya nirvapanad grihadva na chandasa naiva jalagni suryair vina mahatpadarajo vishekam. My dear King Rahuguna, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulation of a householder life, leaving home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyasa or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed, just see, only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. So this is very important to know what he says. No austerity, whatever austerity we are doing, or no, that nothing going to help one. Only by serving the, because Krishna is also pleased when one serves the devotee. Okay, we can stop here, I think. How many more are there? We more 4. Okay, we cannot do today, I think. We'll stop here and we'll continue. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णवंदी की जय. आचार्य राज ठाकुर की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you everyone. Thanks for joining.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hello, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji. Yes.
Mataji, this thing that taking uchishta of someone is actually very important, no? So we should be careful who's like uchishta we take also, because that person's this thing will also get, no?
Consciousness. Yeah,
So
karma. No?
not
Not karma. Yeah. So usually, yes, uchishta we should not take. That is, even Krishna says that yatayayamam katara samputi paryushichanta yat uchishtam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Uchishta, taking uchishta is actually dearer to one who is in mode of ignorance, Krishna says. So it's not recommended. We cannot take everyone's, no. It's only said, no, Bhakta Pada Dhul, Bhakta Pada Jal, and Bhukta Adishesha, right? So basically, only of a pure devotee, Mataji. It means even the smearing that no dust from the feet, that from the feet of a pure Vaishnavas, it is mentioned. Even the Uchista of a pure Vaishnavas. Like we have examples where Guru Maharaj also took the Uchista of his god brothers, being he is a pure devotee himself. Like there was a GBC meeting sometime where everyone, all the Maharajas had come, because GBC means we know, like there are 12 principal, the governing body commission who are like the members. So they all were there, and after the prasadam, they all left, right? The plates were left, and then Prabhupada went to one of his assistants, and he asked like, this plate is of whose, which Maharaj? And then when he understood, then he would take. I mean, he would literally he took off everyone. Like he was asking, like, whose plate is this? And he took. Like that means, yeah, there are many examples. Like even during Prabhupada time, how somebody took Uchishta of, you might have heard, na, that one, like in the flight, one air hostess took from Prabhupada. She grabbed and she ate when he was eating. And actually, Prabhupada's disciple got angry. That is, they are not supposed to do that. But then, after many years, it was found that she had advanced in Krishna consciousness because of having Uchista of a great devotee. So yes, this is very much, it will have an effect on us, but it has to be from a great devotee. And also, not just that, this also means like putting the dust of a pure devotee on our body also means that following their instructions, right? Not just that having the Uchista, it's like following their instructions, like so much, how deeply we are taking. That is why, it is Prabhupada says, don't just read my books, you have to study, scrutinize and study. So basically, how serious we are in taking the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, that is also very important. Yes, Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, 1 minute. This Uttishta in
Yeah.
English, what is it? Is leftover of the food which you are
Yes,
taking?
leftover, remnants of food.
Remnants
Like
of
we have
food.
example of Narad Muni, right? Narad Muni had the Uchista of the
Yes, ma'am.
saintly people. Yeah, there are many examples of it in the Shastras, like how
Somebody takes
Manchi.
Uchishta of someone who is a bit low, then that will affect him badly, no?
Yeah, that will also have a effect. When it can have good, obviously it can have the bad also, right? The consciousness, maybe we will also fall down. So we have to be very careful. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Hare Krishna.